I'ma jump on and on this. Over any distance.
Fair. Sidebar. If you want to catch me over at the Bars and Joysticks channel, you can do that at any time. You feel me? I also will be on there. I'm one of the hosts over at that channel, one of four. I say that to say that because with the whole element of bars, we were talking about Grammy noms. And, you know, the Grammys are coming up, 2021. I heard a bunch of people giving their opinions saying like, oh, like, I want to talk about one Grammy nom, though, that I think is absolutely deserving of the opportunity to win a Grammy. Both, and I say that both as a fan and lover of music, but also as a creator of music. There's one album that I listened to this year that stood out to me and that I have continued to listen to throughout the rest of the year, and I'm like, damn, like this is retaining value. This has supreme, maximum awesome replayability. That's that album, and that Grammy nom is for the one I want to talk about is for Rap Album of the Year. The album I think is deserving of the Rap Album of the Year. To me personally, it has to go to Freddie Gibbs, bro. I'm feeling that, yo. Like Freddie Gibbs with the pillar of utter quality that is the Alfredo album. Now, the Alfredo album's crazy, bro. I didn't even really. I mean, I hadn't really listened to Freddie Gibbs or an entire, you know. I haven't listened to an entire track list of work from him prior to this album. I had listened to songs, had seen, I'm a huge fan of his LA Leakers freestyle with his son on his lap. He was going off all crazy, and his son was like super nonchalant about it. He was like, I'm not gonna like give you any reaction, but I see this every day, my pops. He's just doing him. And I'm like, alright, bet. But I think this year, because it wasn't really much hip hop coming out, or much like new high profile hip hop coming out, which was weird considering the stuff that went on this year and the lack of response from our music creators. I won't come for anyone with that, but I will say that I am very happy that Freddie Gibbs put out this album. Not that it has anything to do or responds directly to the climate of what's happening in the world right now, but it does what it did for me as a listener. Music, I believe great music, when I push play on it, it has the ability to insert a mood into me. You know what I'm saying? Like I can be sad, and then I play the right song, and happiness will be inserted into me. You understand? And what this album did for my mood. Mind you, I listened to the whole thing probably like for the first time. I listened to this album for the first time maybe like a month and a half ago, maybe like 2 months ago at this point. Somewhere along those lines. And I'm on this 17 to 20 hour road trip to Texas. I had this really long drive. And it was the perfect opportunity for me to be able to play music. You feel me? For me to be able to, and I love listening to new stuff. Like I have my go-tos, and I have my playlist that I just stuff I push play on, like in the morning to wake up or to get going or to work out to. But typically, I love finding the stuff that drops on Tuesday. I go to Apple Music and run it up. Fuck Spotify. So I think when I found this, I was like 5 to 6 hours into the trip. I think I left like in the morning, so it was still daylight out. I'm in like this weird deserty land where my signal had cut out on my phone for a little while, so like I'm just trying to transition through radio stations, and I was in the desert, so it wasn't really a fuck ton of radio stations. Then out of nowhere, boom, the internet comes back, or my LTE comes back. Shout to Wi-Fi LTE. I go to my Apple Music, I find the recently released stuff. I'm like, yo, what the fuck, Alfredo? Freddie Gibbs! I didn't know he had an album out. That's crazy. Let me push play on it. 1985. This shit is so deserving of a Grammy. First track of the album, 1985. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Favorite song. What's the favorite song? My favorite song on this playlist, mind you, it's not a long album, which I love. It's not a long album, which is why I think is attributes to how much I listen to it still today, because it's not a long album. I think my favorite song on this album is Scotty Beam. The song Scotty Beam, it did a few things for me. It offered a fantastic Rick Ross feature, which I don't know if y'all have been paying attention to what Rick Ross has been doing this year, but Rick Ross has been feature killing this year. He did an awesome feature on the Benny the Butcher album, which I thought was fire as hell as well. So to hear that and then transition into this album, I was like, oh, I don't even know which feature was crazier. I think it was this one. But Scotty Beam is... Oh, the second thing Scotty Beam, the song, did for me. It made me reestablish my slight crush on Scotty Beam herself. You know what I'm saying? It had been a while. You know what I'm saying? But then my boy Freddie Gibbs is like, yo, like, I'm fucking all these thoughts, but really I just want a Scotty Beam, bro. I want a girl that's like super down to earth and knows her music. You know what I'm saying? Just aware of her. He's updated on her recent hip hop culture. You know what I'm saying? That sounds nice to me. I'm like, yo, I feel you, Freddie Gibbs. And just the texture of this project. You know what I'm saying? The texture is crazy. I think 1985 starts off with a sample cut from Bernie Mac, a Bernie Mac stand-up. And anytime I hear Bernie Mac's voice, I light up with joy. I really hope that was Bernie Mac. I will confirm that, but it definitely sounded like a Bernie Mac snippet because I felt that way, and it's the same feeling that comes every time I hear or see Bernie Mac. So I can't deny that that's who that is. Like, I love anytime I hear Bernie Mac. Anytime from the Bernie Mac show to Case of Comedy to motherfucking Def Comedy Jam. Like, as much as I can get Bernie Mac, bro, R.I.P. a legend, as much as I can tap into it, drop it in to start your album off, bro. I'm a fan. And then we go from there to Look At Me. And that's why I like Scotty Beam, because it flows so seamlessly. That's number 3. It flows so seamlessly into the Look At Me track. And that's like the cocky, like, take a look at me, bitch. I'm like, yo. And his flow, Freddie Gibbs' flow, is why I fuck with him the hardest. Not only his flow, because he actually says things with his flow. So, A1. But his flow, his cadence, his ability to find pocket. And then it's not like it's just like some typical undynamic thing. Nah, he's giving you change in cadence. You know what I'm saying? And his variety of cadence is so easily accessible for him. He'll go like, he just like, you know, the slow pace. What's good? You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to, really need me a Scotty Beam. And then he starts bulleting like, I'm like, damn, but I heard everything. I'm listening. I'm able to comprehend every line, every bar that he's saying. Some great one-liners on this album. Babies and Fools. Babies and Fools with Conway the Machine is probably my second to third favorite song on here. It just, speaking on one-liners, he said, I know that God watches over babies and fools. And I'm like, damn, it's so true. And for me, as someone who is a long-time fan of hip-hop and his... I mean, like most of us, you know, we're all fans of hip hop. I'm pretty sure it's like the most popular genre on the planet, and we've all seen how much it's grown throughout the years. Like, even from when I was in high school, I started high school in 2003. So, you know, in 2003 it was like a way different world. It was a lot of that, like, Atlanta was just starting to take over, the South was just starting to take over really, and then transition into like, you know, the more dancier stuff, and then into more of the trappier stuff, and then with the transitioning from that into like what was once the gold standard for hip hop being like the New York sound, that New York texture, being easily replaced, not easily, but over time becoming replaced and becoming the new standard, the South sound, and then seeing the transition within all of that, the Midwest, the Midwest becoming a region of power players, of power hitters of hip hop. from my understanding, Freddie Gibbs is from Indiana, which is very interesting to me because I had never really known anything about Indiana musically outside of Michael Jackson and then Jackson 5 being from Gary. And for me it's just like, wow, they have so much excellence coming out of fucking Indiana. What are they putting in the water out there? You know what I'm saying? Freddie Gibbs is a legend with these bars. In hip hop and just seeing where it's going and just seeing that this year has not been that prolific with the music output from people who, or artists that I would typically deem to be, hip hop's gatekeepers, hip hop's most popular acts. We ain't really seen nothing from Drake this year, which is not a surprise. What he's not. I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. I could understand why artists didn't want to put out music like that. But for the ones who did, who kept the culture moving forward, progressing, I won't shit on anybody. I think it's almost like the NBA. It's like, no one in the NBA is ass. If you get in that motherfucker, you nice. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like that here. Nobody with the Grammys is ass. No nominee for the Grammys could be. I don't think you could call somebody trash. Now, you could say that texturally you don't like what they got going on or whatever the case may be, but they did something right to get there. So I'm not going to say that, this person doesn't deserve blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm looking at the list right now. Something to rap about with Tyler, the Creator. I'm not a Tyler, the Creator fan. I don't listen to Tyler, the Creator. I don't personally, I might have like one or two songs that I like with him on it. I like Bicycles, right? That was Bicycle, Frank Ocean, Jay-Z. With Tyler at the end. That was fire. This something to rap about. His second verse to close, him rapping about how this beat feels like the yacht in Mykonos he ain't caught yet. But then like the end of the verse sounded like him jumping in off the jaw that he ain't caught yet. Ugh! It was the beat, the instrumental had that kind of like luxury rap kind of feel. You know what I'm saying? Like that circa 2010 Rick Ross Justice League kind of feel. Not on the fancier end. More like the laid back. You know what I'm saying? It had like luxury type texture. And I loved it. And they killed it. And I think that this album as a whole, only having 10 songs, 4 features. Which even then I don't feel as heavy. I don't feel as feature heavy. Man, I would love to see this album win an award. Second place, if not him, then Benny the Butcher, for his project this year, which I also listened to on that same road trip, which was awesome. To be able to push play on. I saw that I was talking to the Squangy. I won't get into this, but I saw that D Smoke was on there for Rap Album of the Year. I hadn't listened to a D Smoke album in any capacity. But I did listen to a song by him, and how much he sounds like Kendrick is just overwhelmingly cringy to me. I can't listen to him because he sounds like Kendrick so hard. Like even how he like chooses to, you know what I mean? You know how Kendrick does those layered voices where he's singing? It's like, I sat at the palm box and receive it. And then he layers it with like the high one. But then it's like the middle one, and then there might be like a weird phasey low. D Smoke does that too, and I'm like, bro, you sound like Kendrick, bro. I'm not listening to you, bro. I could just listen to Kendrick. I just want to listen to Kenny, bro. But hey, man, kudos to him. Congratulations to all the nominees. Congratulations to everybody who has contributed to this year's music. I'm one of those people. Not on the Grammy list, but I have contributed to the creation of music. You could actually find new tunes this year. As of 2020, I've released 23 singles, all written, engineered, and output by yours truly. I'm working with some pretty cool producers right now too. So to say that I'm not just doing hip hop and R&B right now, I've been experimenting with some different textures, different genres. Shout to a producer I really, really have a fond enjoyment of his work, Red Mosque. I would check out Red Mosque. As a music creator, I have to commend all of the people who were able to get nods for noms this year, or for the next year Grammys, because motherfucking Freddie Gibbs, dog, that shit is a fucking one.
I'm fine.
Leo, yeah. Leo, Billy Leonardo on so blue. Too long since last I felt your belly button and gentle kisses under the moon. Forgive me now, so I pray you store them. New songs or feelings out of you. Rather some cry than not the crucial. Used to some Billy Leonardo on so blue.